It was about this time of year. Autumn had fallen. Leaves were starting to change. The air was getting crisp. And we're back in Ohio, Cincinnati to be exact. I don't know if you've been back in Midwest during these autumn months, but it's not as windy as Colorado. Leaves change kind of early back there. But the nights get really chilly. I was about 12 years old in the 7th grade, and my good friend Michael decided he was going to run away from home. So, with all the impulsivity of a 12-year-old, I decided, well, I have to go with you. We didn't go far. We stayed around the neighborhood, sleeping in an abandoned car in a park we grew up in. One night, a friend from school gave us a blanket. We stayed under the steps of his porch. And we were living mostly on sardines and donuts and anything we could steal from the A&P. But it didn't take us long. We managed to stay out 2 or 3 weeks. But it didn't take us long to realize a little planning would not have hurt. Because every day that went by, we realized, we really have to find a place to sleep. This is get pretty cold. So when I told Mike that, I must have triggered a light bulb moment. And he says, hey, what about Jamie's? Jamie was a girl in our class, a friend of ours. And we had skipped school one time and gone over her house. And when we did, she told us, when you get over here, just come around the back. That back door to the garage is always open. Come in through the garage and get in the basement, come upstairs. So thinking about that now, I said, yes, that's a great idea. I bet that door is still open. So we waited until dark, made our way over to Jamie's. Everybody was asleep. The house was dark. And by everyone, I mean Jamie and her mom. No one else lived there. So we snuck around the side of the garage, tried the back door, and sure enough, it was open. So we stepped inside. There was enough light to see coming in from the window from the street light outside. And I noticed there were some clotheslines running back and forth. Some items of clothing on it. So I just think, got a washer, no dryer. We duck under the clothes and open the door to the basement. Much darker in here. There is some light coming in from some windows, but our eyes need to adjust. And we're looking around, sort of feeling our way around. And I whispered to Mike, I said, man, we have to find a place to hide just in case somebody comes downstairs. He nods and we start looking around. We're looking for maybe like a furnace we can get behind or some boxes that are stacked up. And as I'm looking around, I see over by this wall, there's a door next to the stairs. Next to that stairs, on the other side, and a little farther down, is a washing machine. So I climb over some things and I make my way to the door and I start to try the door. And I realize somebody could be sleeping right there. So I just inch this door open just in case there's a squeak. Ever so slowly. And I notice it kind of sticks. No squeak. But it's pitch black in here. No windows. But I can see, just from the little dim light that is coming in from the basement, I see like a broom, a dustpan and stuff. So I'm thinking, storage closet. This might work. So Michael and I, we both squeeze in here. And Mike, we start identifying things, feeling our way around. There's some boxes and some piles of rags or clothes, some bottles, probably cleaning supplies, and then that broom and things. So we decide this is going to work. We start slowly moving things around. Mike sort of claims the corner. And he moves some rags over there and sits on. He's going to have to sleep sitting up. I'm going to have to sleep sitting up also, but against the door. So I sort of find my place and I pull the door closed behind me. I hear it click and I sort of get comfortable. Now, this doesn't sound very comfortable, sleeping sitting up, but we had been running the streets for a couple weeks and we're 12 years old. That's, we were pretty worn out. We were just glad to be warm. And being so exhausted, it didn't take us long to just pass right out. Well, turned out to be a really good idea because we had found a hiding place. Because in the morning, I was woken by that door at the top of the stairs. My eyes shot up, my ears on high alert. I don't want to move. And then the light came on. When the light came on, it came in under the door. And I can see Mike much better now. And I hold my finger up in a silent, he nods. He's awake. He's hearing what I'm hearing. So a moment later, somebody starts coming down the stairs. And these are sort of slow, laborious steps. So I realize these are not the steps of a teenager. This is not Jamie. This is her mom. More steps. She gets to the bottom of the stairs and there's another sound. I sort of, can't figure out what that is. She either knocked something over, dropped something. And then a few minutes later, then I hear some shuffles. She shuffles when she walks, okay? But they're going away from me. I'm hearing her walking over in that direction. Next thing I hear is a sort of a metal sound. And I'm thinking, washing machine. She's doing wash. And my mind starts putting things together. I'm thinking, maybe that was, maybe that's what she dropped. Maybe she's doing wash. That could have been a clothing basket, And then whether I was imagining it or not, I'm hearing the fluff of clothes going in this washing machine. And I'm putting this together and I'm thinking, yes, this could be really good. She's going to get that laundry started and go on back upstairs. And we can sneak out of there. Which was really good because I had to pee so bad. Now Michael is hearing the same thing I'm hearing. And he's also putting two and two together. But he notices something. And suddenly he starts kicking my feet. Bam, bam, bam. I looked down and I followed up to his face. And he's frantically pointing over to next to me. I follow his gaze and I look over. There against the wall, on the floor, is a box of laundry detergent. I know. My first thought, of course, is, oh, shit. But it's unopened. I think, pulling all the optimism I can together, I think, surely she's got another box out there that's open. And this is just a standby. We'll be fine. Next thing I hear, though, is that shuffle. Shh. Shh. I'm thinking if she's doing laundry, well, I don't know. She's coming for me. Shh. Shh. And I can tell they're getting louder. So my mind starts racing. Oh my God, what can we possibly say? You can't throw Jamie under the bus. She doesn't even know we're here. I hope she doesn't call the police. I mean, this is burglary. Shh. Shh. She's getting closer. And now, I'm so scared, I not only have to pee, I have to fart. but I'm afraid she'll either smell it or hear it. She gets so close, I realize she's right on the other side of this door. The next thing I hear is just this, you rattle the door. That's the last thing I hear. And the door goes flying over. Because I'm leaning against it, I go flying back onto my back. I fart. And I'm laying there looking up at Jamie's mom, who's looking down at me. And she yelps like she's just seen a rat. And that was the longest seconds in all the history of seconds pass. I'm just glad I didn't give this lady a heart attack. I'm glad I didn't get a heart attack. So I'm laying there, not knowing what to say. And I guess I channeled Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver. Because what came out of her mouth was, "Well, good morning, Mrs. Zinzer. Katie here." She's staring at me. Fortunately, she knows Mike and I from being in school with Jamie. She says nothing. The answer to that question is Jamie here. We didn't have to wait very long for that because Jamie comes running down the steps having heard her mom yell. She comes running up, takes in the scene, and she's like, "What the hell, you guys?" They did. Now her mom, she too could have played this a lot of ways. She could have said a million things. What I'm expecting, of course, is get the hell out of the house. I'm going, please. I know. What she finally says is, "Y'all sting something terrible. Get up here and get cleaned up." And so we did. We pulled ourselves together and we all made our way up the stairs. Jamie looking at me with the eyes of an assassin. Mike and I get cleaned up. Her mom made us breakfast. She did not go base, and made us promise to go back home. So Mike and I, sitting across from the table from each other, I mean, this home-cooked breakfast definitely had a lot to do with it. We were definitely ready to go on back home. And we just agreed that, our adventure was about over.